So for board members, I see Nancy, Ryan, Monique, Candace. Am I missing anybody else?
Well, it looks like we have a very small group.
It does look like a small group.
I don't think we've ever been this small.
The short meeting as well.
Woohoo!
Exactly. Everyone's getting ready for our housing conference this week.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah. I see Allison with the blue skies. Allison, are you up in Keystone already?
Nope.
I am actually just walking out of a DOLA all staff meeting. So I am at Stanley Marketplace.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
And I will be settling in my car momentarily so that I can focus.
Great. Well, it is 12:59. It's 1 o'clock officially. So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. My name is Anthea Martin. I'm the chair of the State Housing Board. This is our October 10th meeting. We have a very short agenda today. Thank you all for those of you that are attending. Thank you for joining us. I'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the approval of the September 23 meeting votes.
Make a motion to approve, please.
Thank you, Candace.
This is Monique. I second that.
Thank you for the second, Monique. In favor signified by aye.
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 Any opposed?
I abstained because I wasn't there.
Thank you, Nancy.
Mhm.
Do we have enough of a quorum with Nancy abstaining? Candace, you're shaking. You shook your head yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
I believe we do. We had 4 positive votes and 1 abstain, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thanks for that, Andrew. Wonderful. Well, let us move on to the director's comments and budget update. If that's Allison, if you're in a good place for that.
I made myself in a good place. And so you can still see the blue skies because I could not make it to my car in enough time. But I'm happy to be here with all of you. I was really hoping to focus on a couple of things. One, regarding the executive order and progress on that, which I think a lot of great things are happening. And then also talking about our budget. So those are the 2 areas that I was hoping to focus on. And so for the executive order, we're really approaching this in a 2-pronged approach, one on the application side and then one on the contracting side. So for the application side of things, we have had the contract and process improvement period that we've been going through, and we continue to make good strides in that. With that, we're looking at 20 different aspects of our application side. Also looking at the thoroughness of the applications that are coming through to us, and if we need to make adjustments or not regarding that information that's collected at the application, so that we can more quickly transition to our contracting. So really focusing in on those timelines that are directed within the executive order. And so those processes are moving forward. An exciting thing that has come through is we just recently, through our work with the State Controller's Office, got approval for state funds, very important, for state funds going forward to be able to provide funding for pre-agreement costs. So you probably are asking, what does that mean? What that means is for going forward for state funded deals, development deals, very important, from the date of the award letter through the execution of a contract, we will be able to pay those pre-development, pre-agreement costs. And so that is actually a new thing for us that we have not been able to do. And that approval just came last week. So very excited about that news. In addition, we are looking to create a stakeholder group that will work with us in the new calendar year on assessing how things are going with these changes that we're rolling out through this contract and process improvement phase. So meeting quarterly with that stakeholder group. And so more information will be provided as we collect names through our Engage DOLA site. So that is something that we are in the process of developing. That will be coming out this week. And so more information, people can be tracking our progress with this executive order. On the contracting side, what we've seen that can really help us move the needle to a shorter timeline in our contracting process is really our template loan documents. And so we held a stakeholder event together with DOH staff and other stakeholders within state government to assess all of our different loan documents and determine what potential changes can be made to those documents to help streamline that process. And so we did have that meeting on September 20th. We had done a survey to collect specific feedback from stakeholders prior to that, that we were able to dive into even more during that September 20th event. Since that meeting, we have been meeting with the State Controller's Office, and we are drafting the new documents based on that feedback. And so we expect we'll be able to pilot a project during November. And so that is focused on our loan documents. So that is really exciting as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions about our work on the executive order, and then I'll dive into the budget. Okay, if there are no questions on the executive order work, I'll dive into the budget. So you may have noticed with our last state housing board meeting, you all actually approved all of the housing development grant funds for this fiscal year. And so as we're coming out of our contract and application improvement phase, we are actually going to be administering, I think it's just over $90 million, but it will not include housing development grant funds. And so we'll be very focused on what dollars we will be able to allocate at that time. So congratulations to the State Housing Board. You all did a tremendous job working with staff, but we have fully allocated our housing development grant line for this fiscal year. And I just wanted to make sure that that was clear for everyone. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Sam?
Thank you, Anthea. Allison, remind us when the fiscal year for the housing development grants begins and ends.
Okay, it begins July 1st and it ends June 30th. And that is their fiscal year.
So then essentially the projects that we look at moving forward will be funded with other program funds until July of next year.
That is correct. And so we have some home funds, CDBG funds, and then some returned one-time stimulus dollars that we'll be able to allocate, and then our revolving loan fund as well. So our loan funds that we'll be able to allocate as well. So we'll be focusing on that as we're looking at projects moving forward.
Allison, I have a question that's not directly tied to the budget per se, but can you speak to what you are seeing from the applications that are coming in general, maybe compared to this time last year, and in terms of volume? Are you seeing more applications? Is the need greater? Are they serving deeper affordability, or is it going the other direction? Can you just share with us some feedback on what you're seeing?
Absolutely. And Andrew, feel free to step in as well. But what we're seeing is seeing an increase in costs So that does include construction, that includes other soft costs. So we're seeing an overall increase, but we're also seeing a tremendous increase in applications as well. So it's a little bit of both increased development costs and increases in the number of projects and developers that are doing this work, which is exciting. But it definitely is putting the stress on the funding resources that we allocate. Andrew, did you want to add to anything to that?
Sure. Just to follow up a bit, Anthea, I don't think we're seeing a market change one way or the other in kind of the level of affordability. The lion's share of our applications tend to be kind of in the same, or for standard gap funding, the special NOFAs and stimulus funds aside, tend to be serving the same populations income-wise as they have in the past. As Allison indicated, higher costs, certainly driving larger gap fund requests, lower loan proceeds, perhaps a little bit lower equity pricing, also kind of squeezing that gap from both angles. And then I think we've also seen larger projects. We are seeing 100 plus unit projects, which is great, but as costs go up, the need for per unit subsidy increases. Those larger projects are also putting kind of bigger chunks stress on or demand on that budget.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that intel. Sam?
Allison, do you have a sense of, or maybe Andrew, do you have a sense of the number of dollars that may be available through the Prop 123 program and how that might impact the gap funding that we're providing?
Absolutely. So I think it's important to note that DOH is administering both homeownership and homelessness dollars from Proposition 123. And so we are definitely looking at what applications we can fund from those resources. Again, in September, at the end of September, you did approve projects that were going toward Proposition 123. Does that answer your question, Sam, or?
Kind of. I was sort of wondering, do we know the dollar amount that's going to be available kind of statewide based on the communities that have opted in at this point?
Yes. So at this point, and I don't have the numbers obviously in front of me at this moment, we'll be coming out of this contract and process improvement phase with homeownership Proposition 123 funds. At this moment in time, with the funds regarding homelessness, I do not have an answer for you specifically on that one because the Office of Homeless Initiatives just did an RFP for the Emergency Solutions Grant Funds, and they do anticipate allocating $123 from that NOFA that they had done, and those awards have not been made, and so I do not know how much funding is remaining until those awards are made.
Now, some of the 123 funds are actually allocated by local units of government. Is that correct?
That is not actually the case. The funds are allocated through DOH and OEDIT, CHAFA, and it's on a project by project basis.
So then the communities that have opted in, where do they apply for funding? Do they go through the Office of EDIT or CHAFA or whom? Or does it depend on the type of program it is?
It depends on the type of program it is, but primarily speaking, applicants would go through CHAFA and or through DOH. And then DLG, Division of Local Government in DOLA, will also be administering some planning funds from the Proposition 123 dollars.
Okay, thanks.
What do you think of that place I sent you in York County? Okay, well, thank you for the update, Allison. Do you have anything else for us?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your service in this important time.
Back at you. Okay, let's move on to the project application review stage. Looks like LaDon has joined us. Hey, LaDon. We're going to start with Ruby Vista today, and presenting is Demetra English.
Okay, this is Wayne McClary. Looks like Dee is, can you all hear me? Looks like Dee is not available. We're having our employee appreciation lunch. I know she's on the committee. So I'll sub for Dee and introduce for Ruby Vista, Kimmel Kringle and Lauren Shevitz.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Shevitz. Kimmel couldn't join us today, but we'll keep it quick. Thank you so much for our reviewing our application for funding for our Ruby Vista project, formerly known as 1900 South. It's located in South Denver. We are hoping to provide 98 1, 2, 3 bedroom units between 30 and 60% AMI. More than 34% of the units will be targeted towards families in 3 and 4 bedroom units. We have been working very closely with Wayne and Demetra and all the staff over at Division of Housing to get to an award or a recommended award to bring to you today. So we really appreciate staff working with us to try and get us to the finish line on this project. Construction loan interest rates have been a big challenge, but we are hoping to utilize state of Colorado funding, City and County of Denver funding, and CHAFA CMF capital magnet funds to get this project across the finish line, along with a significant deferred developer fee. So happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Lauren. Any questions from the board? Sam?
Lauren, thanks for the presentation and presenting the project. I'm wondering, I saw that you have a partnership with DHA on this one. Do you have any vouchers in this project?
No vouchers in this project, but we do have that special limited partnership for property tax exemption. It was just approved by the DHA board last week.
Okay, great, thanks.
And Lauren, when are you hoping to close this one?
We're looking at the first or second week of November. It depends on when we can get to Denver City Council for an approved subordinate loan from them.
Thank you, Nancy.
What'd you say?
Thank you. I'm just wondering, what has, before you build this, what was on this land before? Do you know?
Sure. There's actually just a 1970s-ish office building on the site, and we are in the process of getting ready to demolish that as well. Other than that, the land is vacant.
Okay, thank you. I know that this kind of housing is really, really needed. I believe it was this one that mentioned that the rooms were a little bit smaller, but that the amenities were nicer. Could you talk a little bit more about that? I was kind of intrigued by that, knowing how much stuff everybody has these days. I'm just wondering about that decision.
Sure. So yes, the units are a little bit smaller than we typically would see in like a market rate unit, but we feel like we're able to provide a very livable space with the square footage that we're able to provide. It also helps us keep our construction costs down. Within every unit, we do provide what we call a Colorado closet, which is a large walk-in storage closet for all of the things that you're mentioning. We also will have a community room on site as well as a fitness room. And we are also adjacent to the Ruby Hill Park, which is a regional park down in South Denver. Levitt Pavilion is located there, and the city's investing millions of dollars into that park. And we're also nearby the South Platte River Trail And also the light rail station is within a mile of the site.
Thank you.
Lauren, one more question for you.
Sure.
Cedar Rapids Bank interest rate of 6%. I'm assuming that's on the term loan and that's verified as being accurate today. Can you tell me a little bit about that amazing rate?
Well, as you know, Anthea, interest rates have skyrocketed. So that rate is now a little outdated. We did get just last week, we got our final GMP construction numbers, and our construction budget has decreased slightly, but our interest rate is currently at about 6.5%. So right now we're looking at a combination of deferred developer fee, kind of maxing that out at year 14, and then a balance of a Gorman note if it's needed. So thankfully we were able to shave, at least $1 million off of our construction costs. So that has helped a lot.
Okay, that's great. I mean, even at 6.5%, not horrible. At least you have a bank in the deal.
Yes. And so we're locking in that the perm loan is a swap. We're locking that in at closing, at our financial closing. And then we will also have some bridge construction loans at a little bit higher rate.
Okay. All right. Not ideal, but could be worse. Any other questions? All right. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you all.
And our last deal for the day is Homes Fund. And presenting for Homes Fund is Andrew Curtis.
Thanks, Anthea. As you all saw, this is another of our Senate Bill 22-159, Affordable Housing Investment Fund applications and recommendations for award. Homes Fund from Southwest Colorado is applying for and is being recommended for approval for their mobile home purchase program, essentially providing financing to families to buy or construct mobile homes. So with that, I'd like to introduce Lisa Bloomquist Palmer from Homes Fund to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Bloomquist. I'm the Executive Director for Homes Fund, and thank you very much for your consideration of this request. We have asked for $3 million to support and expand our manufactured and mobile home loan program, which serves the people of Southwest Colorado. We're based in La Plata County in Durango, Colorado, but we serve the 5-county region, including Montezuma, Archuleta, Dolores, San Juan, and La Plata counties. And we launched our manufactured and mobile home loan program back in 2018 with some money from the CDFI fund. And with that, we started providing first mortgages to people who are purchasing manufactured homes that are in parks, and that type of housing is difficult to finance for those buyers. We subsequently expanded the program to provide first mortgage loans to low and moderate income folks who are purchasing difficult to finance manufactured homes that are affixed to land, but for some reason are not financeable by the regular mortgage market. We are seeking to continue those programs. Those programs have been temporarily halted because of a lack of dedicated funding to those programs. And with this money, we will be able to continue those programs, and they will serve they'll serve the need of helping low and moderate income folks attain homeownership in our expensive but beautiful area. We're also seeking to expand our programs a bit and get into facilitating the construction of more manufactured and mobile homes down here. So thank you very much for your consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Lisa. Nancy?
Thank you. I'm really intrigued by this, and I think it's probably very much
We lost you there, Nancy.
Silly mute thing. What you think the average size loan would be?
So it has probably changed a bit since my application because the prices even on manufactured homes are going up. Probably about $125,000 is my back of the napkin.
Okay. And these are loans, so this theoretically could really serve a whole lot of people.
It will revolve, correct.
That's great. Okay, thank you.
Sam?
Thank you for the presentation. I was wondering, is there any protection for some of the homeowners that you're working with that are, purchasing or refinancing a home in an existing park against, protection against that park being sold, and then all of a sudden, their lot rent goes extremely high, and there's a possible, displacement of that person? Is there any protection for that?
Well, we do have a special program for homes that are in resident-owned communities with longer terms than we provide for the homes that are not in resident-owned communities. But overall, I think that those folks are certainly better protected now than they used to be with the new and better Mobile Home Park Act. And we are hopeful that consumer protections continue to be improved for those folks. But no, that's not something that we really do. We depend on the Mobile Home Park Act and the enforcement of that.
Thank you.
This annual fee of 0.5%, is that something that you pay to the state?
Yes.
How is that paid?
So as payments are made to us, we will generate income off of this and we will pay the state.
Okay.
So we'll be depending on our interest spread on that, the difference between the 0.5% and the 3% that we are lending the money out at. And we will be paying the state what we owe to the state. And then we also have we have a fairly strong balance sheet and other programs that generate income as well.
Okay, great, thank you. Wonderful, well, thanks for your presentation, Lisa. Let's go ahead and take these applications to vote. If I could ask for, first of all, let's see, does anyone need to recuse themselves from either Ruby Vista or Homes Fund? Great, hearing no one. If I can ask for a motion for approval for River Vista and Homes Fund.
I so moved. This is Nancy.
Second, this is Ladon.
Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Ladon. All those in favor signified by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Great. Well, thank you all for your presentations. Thank you to the board for the support of these applications, and to all of the staff for all your continued work. We look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of weeks.
Thank
We
you all.
hope to see some of you at the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.